Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Latina Mic Drop podcast. And today we are talking about pride. For me, the journey has been long and the journey has been difficult, but at the same time, it's also been liberating and it's also been a complete joy. I want to talk about today what it took for me to get to this point. And I realize that a lot of you are struggling with coming out, being yourselves, accepting yourselves, being your authentic self in the workplace. And I recognize that it's not easy for everybody and it's not safe everywhere. And so the reason why I say that is because a lot of you loved by your families and accepted by your families. And there are other people like me who are not accepted, who do not understand, who still don't talk about it, who are still referenced as the amiga. And, it feels bad. It feels effed up to not be able to be yourself and for people not to acknowledge you as a person fully. And it's one of those things that really breaks my heart because it is so difficult for other people sometimes to really see you as who you are. And I get that. A lot of us it's interesting to think about how our parents want something for us and then we become something totally different, or we figure out who the hell we are as we're going through our journey. And it takes time. We are becoming the next version of ourselves in many different ways, in many different times of our lives. We have different phases, we have different decades that we go through different things. And today I want to chat about that. First, I want to talk about, I've been in a relationship with my wife for 20 years. This September will be 20 years. And as you can tell, I will get emotional and I will feel my heart popping out of my chest because it is very difficult for me to get real about this. So I tend to be very selective and when I talk about it because it's still something that isn't 100% natural to me to talk about, only because of the struggle and only because of what I've been through. So here we go. So number one, back in the days, I was probably in my mid-20s. I struggled with the fact that I was interested in women. I've known this my entire life, since I was a young kid. I've had a lot of people attracted to me. I was almost always the most popular kid in class. Boys liked me, girls liked me. Pretty charismatic person, big personality. I am full of joy. That's just my regular thing. And it was hard for me to accept the fact that people liked me. And it was something that my mom struggled with. And she would always think, you're being fresh. Oh, you're too this. Oh, why are you looking at people like that? And so then I did have a girlfriend in school. And I noticed right away that I was not interested in boys, but I was more interested in girls. And I've had crushes on women. One time a professor in college when I was there. And for me, it's just been something that I knew for myself, but I hadn't seen it. So I didn't know what it was. And as I got older, right, you get pressured into dealing with boys. And one of my cousins was like, hey, you should he really likes you, this and that. And so you end up doing, doing the boy thing. I had 3 kids, but it's something that was not, I couldn't hide. I couldn't keep away from. It was just something that was natural to me. So then when I really fell in love with my wife and I met her in my mid-20s, it was something I couldn't shake off. It was like that moment that they say, oh, can you live without them? No, I couldn't. So I met that moment with honesty and truth. And I knew making that decision was going to change my life. And a lot of the stuff that I haven't said is how difficult it was and what happened during those times. So I picked her up from her boyfriend's house. They had already been separated and already had been going through it. I was already separated from my kid's father. and I had 3 little ones, she showed up. And so then we became really close. She began to like take care of me. I began to take care of her. And we fell in love. And so I just remember thinking to myself, like, how could I do this without the judgment from all my family? And I just knew that it was going to be difficult, but it was something I already knew. It was something I had already experienced. And for some of you, it may be new to go against the grain, to go against something your parents may not understand, or your family may not understand, or your friends may not understand. So I get it's a very difficult decision. But you can't live your life for somebody else. You have to live for yourself. And that's what I kept thinking about. Like, if I follow, like, this is where consider the source comes from. Because if they're not LGBT, they will not know what it's like. So they do not understand it. And it's hard to consider their opinions. In my opinion, it's hard to consider other people's opinions that haven't lived through it. I only get advice from people that are either certified, licensed, or people who have been through it. And so for me, I needed to consider the fact that my mom and my dad, my family members, none of them are LGBTQ. So they do not know what it looks like. They do not understand what it is. And they're not educated in that sense. A lot of people are not educated. And so then it becomes our responsibility to educate them. And unfortunately, even if we don't want to, we do become the person who ends up teaching them and showing them what it looks like. It's hard. It's tough. It's not fair. I don't agree with it. Like, why the hell do I have to teach you about this? Why don't you go and learn about it, right? Like, sometimes if you're an ally, if you're a person who is trying to support your kid, and I meet a lot of parents too, and I appreciate those parents that come to me to ask me those questions, but also get your information. Go to a therapist. Talk to somebody who can help you, right? Like specifically for your specific instance, because everybody in this is very much has a part. Everybody has a part in this, right? If you have somebody who is LGBT, understand there was like, don't ask, don't tell. It was illegal to be with people, right? Like of the same sex. There are so many things against us, and people get locked up for it. So why would you all of a sudden, see things a little bit different when all you know is, hey, if you are LGBT, they make fun of you. Like one time I remember in school, I was walking, I probably was elementary school actually. I was in elementary school, and I remember there was a trans person walking down Jefferson Street, going up to Main Avenue. And I remember that she was walking, and I recall how the guys in the car like stopped just to make fun of him. Like they pulled over, they didn't get out of the car, but they were talking mad shit to her. I knew there's a lot of judgment, and it's effed up, and it's so freaking rude, and people treat you horribly. Some people, not everybody. And then when I was at work, I remember somebody calling another trans person, oh yeah, that clown, this and that, right? Like, I'm like, how could they say this at work? This is your colleague. This is an employee that's working with you, right? So all of these things that I heard and saw in school, in middle school, in high school, then at the workplace, in my family, right? This is what all of us are going through, right? You see this, you hear this, and then you start watching the news and you see the religion comes into place. And there's just so many things, right? Like another thing that I couldn't do, speaking about religion, was not that I couldn't do it, I opted not to, was I chose not to be madrina, godmother, to one of my nieces. Not because I didn't want to, but because the church didn't accept LGBT. So when they don't accept who I am fully, I will not be 100% there. And it wasn't, my family's fault. In that case, that was a personal choice for me, because if the church does not accept who I am fully, then I will not be a participant. I am not willing at all to be a person that is not in places that is not 100% accepted. But at the same time, I need to show up and be courageous in those times so that I can show that I am worthy of it, that I do belong. So it is something that definitely in many spaces takes courage. What I realize now is the fact that some of our parents or family members who are against it or whatever it is, it's really done out of protection. What I've recognized now in many different things is that people are just fearful. People are just afraid. And I say just afraid like it's nothing, but it's huge. There's so many people that function out of fear. They're scared they're going to make fun of you. They're scared your life is going to be difficult. They're scared people are going to judge you. They're scared people can hurt you. They're scared people can kill you. It's a reality that can happen only because we've seen it. We know what's been out there, right? One thing that I'll never forget is the day that my mom said to my daughter, and I only knew because I was taking my daughter to buy clothes for the summer. And we stopped at the children's store. And she was sitting in the front. And I was already with my wife. And my daughter says to me, which broke my heart, Mom, my grandma says that you are doing something wrong. And that you are not okay. And that you are sick. What does that mean? And I hate that people would confuse who I am and badmouth me, the person that loves them the most, to my kids. And that moment, as you can tell, still hurts. And it still bothers me because my mom will continue to say that because that's what she believes. And that's what she thinks it's real. And that's what she 100% feels is okay. Because she tells me that every day. She tells me that. So I have to have a distance relationship with her in order to be okay with her. And for her to be okay with me, because she knows that I have my wife and my kids. But she just doesn't get it. And she never will. And she'll never change her stance on me doing the wrong thing, according to her. Right? So that's why you have to consider the source. Because that moment made my daughter question me as her mom, made her question me as a person. And I have never, my relationship with my daughter has been very difficult. And I always wonder if it was because of that, because my mom would always tell her things. And I don't even know if that's part of it. And that's why sometimes when people judge me or people criticize me, it's very hard for me to deal with it because how dare you? How dare you talk shit about me? Like, how dare you be that person? And I know a lot of you feel that way. You're a good person. You're doing good things. So many of you are managing your life the best way that you can. And what I found to be helpful is being in circles that help you be you, being in circles that accept you, being in circles that you're allowed to be who you are. And that's what I do now. Like, even just yesterday, like, when I am referenced by my wife's family, they will call me La Amiga, right? Not La Esposa, not the wife. They call me La Amiga. I am not the fucking amiga. I am the wife. And that it probably was happening with a lot of you, right? Oh yeah, ya vive con la amiga, right? She lives with a friend. Things like that. So I have to just say that's their level of understanding that they have. That's how far they can accept it. That's what they can see, and that's how they can explain it. That's how they can talk about it. And in our culture, it's just not talked about. And so that's why I have made it my business to go ahead and have these conversations. This month has been very difficult for me because more than once I have been the go-to for pride events, not just at work, but also outside of work. Because I'm a woman, for some reason I have been the female side that they choose to have in the conversations. And I have to admit that it's been hard. I love to do it and I will continue to do it. And I will not say no to anything like that. But I just didn't realize how tough Pride Month was going to be for me. And I just recognized how emotionally tolling it is for me because I am this vulnerable all the time. I will tell you exactly what I'm saying. I will tell you exactly how I'm feeling. I'll tell you exactly what I've been through because I want you to know you're not alone. You are not alone in feeling bad and feeling sad and feeling lonely and wishing things were different and wishing that people could be there for you and wishing that people could understand. But that's not the reality. And I will still be me. I will still show up. I will be courageous. And I want you to be courageous too. And the other thing I want to say is that take your time. It takes time. Find the friends, do the work for yourself. And then eventually, what people say will still kind of like bother you a little bit. But you end up being like, okay, that's their version of it. You know, it's not mine. So I don't worry about it too much. I'm still going to be me and I'm still going to do me. And it takes us being real with ourselves and dealing with our feelings, our emotions, our everything, like how we look at it, our behavior. Do we accept ourselves? Do we love ourselves? Are we sabotaging ourselves? Are we hurting ourselves? Are we living a life that is for somebody else instead of for us? No, you know how many times my grandpa told me, go marry a guy? Yeah, well, no, grandpa, thank you, but no, thank you. And he had no clue. And I was just saying no because I didn't want to. Take your time, find your community, deal with whatever is happening within you so that you can feel better about yourself. And a lot of you that have the support and have the family and have that, like, tap into that, hug them even more, be 1,000% grateful, you know. And I understand that it's not safe everywhere. I get that part because it's part of, unfortunately, life. But the reality is that I also look for filtering out those people that are not for me. So by me being real, me being honest, me being 100% me, I know that, hey, maybe this is not the place for me. All right, let me find another one. Okay, well, maybe these are people are not the people for me. Let me find another group. And I just want to say that being Latina, being LGBT, being a mom, being an executive, being an entrepreneur, being all kinds of things has made me who I am. And I am super proud of how far I have come. And I have never let anything hold me back. It might have dragged me. I might have had to crawl through the mud and pull myself out of all those things I had to tackle. But at the end of the day, I'm here, I'm moving, I'm going forward. Every day I make a little more money. Every day I learn a little more. Every day I talk a little bit more. Every day I teach others. Every day I'm learning. Every day I'm growing. And I love to give back. I will not be the gatekeeper. Hail to the no. We have been held back by so many different people and so many different things and laws and all kinds of shit that I will not be a participant of that side. I will be a person who will open the door, hold your hand, go with you, and understand that we are here to support each other. And I just want to say happy Pride. It's been Latina Mic Drop. See you on the flip side.